Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am Evil Pikachu. Yes, that's my name on Final Fantasy XIV. As you can see, I am a Dragoon, level 54. That may sound impressive in the grand scheme of things. It is not. Since a lot of my companions basically don't play video games at all, or especially not Final Fantasy ones, because they think it's for nerds, I thought I'd give you a quick walk around just so that when I'm talking about this game, you've got even the faintest fucking clue what I'm talking about. So, as you can see, this is my armour. Yes, I'm aware the colours don't match. The thing is, this is the Ironworks gear that you can get at the end of the base game of A Realm Reborn. You need to augment it with carbon twine before you can dye it. And I only had enough tomes to exchange for one piece of carbon twine. I need to go and do a few dungeon raids to get some more carbon twine, augment the rest of the gear, then I can dye it yellow to complete my Pikachu look. So it's mildly irritating, but on the other hand, this armor is absurdly powerful. Like, it's many leagues better than what I had before. So anyway, enough waffling. Let's at least start the login process, because there's always a bloody queue here on Zodiac. So this won't take long, but it's Zodiac. It's quite a busy server. You'll see exactly why as soon as I log in, because I'm due to spawn in at Limsa Lominsa, and any questions you might have about, oh, is this game still active? Are the servers still up? Is it still populated? You'll see exactly why there's a queue as soon as I walk out into the marketplace, I swear to God. Because it's like 6 o'clock on a Monday evening. Alright. Admittedly, we're in the middle of a quarantine, so a lot more people are playing, that helps. But this is Limsa Lominsa. Or at least it should be Limsa if I logged out properly. Love a little post-Moogle on the loading screen. That is so adorable. I want a plushie of it. Might have to raid eBay after this. Well, you'll see exactly how busy things are. Limsa is kind of like the Mos Eisley of Eorzea, the world of Final Fantasy XIV, is that it has a bit of a reputation for being a wretched hive of scum and villainy. It's not bad by all means. It's just, for a start, it's where the rogue class starts the game, and secondly, it tends to be where a lot of the, let's call them what they are, furries gather. And, well, this is the Aetheryte warp-in point. Look how many people there are running around. Yeah, you're not going to run out of players to keep you amused anytime soon. This is just the people who are just randomly hanging around, dancing, and just being a nuisance. Like, look, I can't even see the message boards through the sea of people. This is just one city. There are 3 in the base game. This is not where I'm from originally. I started the game as a Lancer, which eventually evolves into the Dragoon I am now. They start off in Gridania, the Forest Nation, which I will show you in just a... Actually, you know what, fuck it, let's just teleport there. Saves time. Oh, another fucking gill seller in the chat. This is another reason why Limsa has a bit of a reputation as the wretched hive of scum and villainy. Real money trading is against the rules. So, what I really should do, if I cared enough to, is expand the log. You go and highlight it, go into sub-commands, and you can flag them for RMT. But see, there are people chatting in the chat log right now. I don't know if that's Gridanian or Limson. I'm sort of in the midpoint right now. Anyway, this is my hometown of Gridania. Order of the Twin Adder represent. That's my grand company. It's who I do a lot of work for. They have a quest for me at the minute, but that's fighting the extreme version of the Ramu summon, so fuck that. Actually, that's a good point. 13,000 company seals. That's cool. Let's see what they got for me. You. Sell me something interesting. That spear is worse than the one I've got now. That's actually substantially better, but it's 35,000 seals. Okay, never mind. That's what I want. I want the serpent hatchling as a little baby chocobo wearing a helmet. It's fucking adorable. I'm just going to save up for that. Anywho, I'm quite done fucking around. So, I'm sure you're asking, what is there to do in this game? Well, if you want, you could just collect these little minions. Look, someone's got a pet fox. I want one, but I don't know where to get it. I need to Google that shit. Basically, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can follow the story if that's what matters to you. I mean, it's a good story, I'd suggest it. Bear in mind, it is an MMO. There are quite a few pointless fetch quests, but there's also a lot of great battles against what they call primals here, what we used to call summons in every other Final Fantasy game. So like Ramu and Ifrit, Shiva. Shiva is a bastard to fight. Leviathan. For those that don't know, the current version of Final Fantasy XIV is known as a Realm Reborn. The reason for that, the original Final Fantasy XIV, when it launched, I think it was back in 2012, 13, something like that, it was such a complete toilet fire that they just scrapped it. They wrote it into the lore and played one final cutscene, which I strongly recommend you look up on YouTube, where Primal Bahamut awakens and just fucking nukes the place. And basically, this is the Reborn realm, and now we're trying to stop that happening again. So it's my job to go and kill primals and make sure they don't fuck things up. There's more going on than that. It's all gone a bit Game of Thrones at the moment, because I'm in the Heavenswood expansion. It's all about politics and powerful families manipulating things behind the scenes. It gets real complicated. But you can be as involved with that as you want. This here is the Lavender Beds. I own an apartment here, which cost me 500,000 gil. That's a substantial amount of money. And that's several days of in-game grinding we're talking about there. Like, that's about a week's worth of work at the level I was at when I bought the damn thing. I could probably make that money back a lot quicker now, but yeah, I spent it on an apartment because, well, I'll show you why shortly, but let's go and check my apartment out first. I could have used the teleport crystal, but I didn't think of it at the time. You may have also noticed, by the way, that there's a cat following me. It's Gaela Kitten. Gaela Kitten. I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah, that is called a minion. They do nothing. They're purely cosmetic. The reason I have a flying cat is because I left my account undefended. My 6-year-old daughter Freya was messing around on it, and she went to the market boards for the in-game player trading and bought that off someone for 36,000 gil, which, as I just explained, is a fair old chunk of change. Now, I can make that money back with not much of a problem now, but at the time, that was a significant setback. Yeah, so she spent 36 grand on a flying cat. This is my apartment. This is flat 9 of Ward 16. Here on the Zodiac server. I don't have any fertilizer, but I do need to water my plants. You gotta check in on them every now and then. It's actually possible to crossbreed them and create them with all like different colours and stuff. At the minute, the apartment is more or less pointless. Like, I can sleep on the bed, but it has no tangible benefit. There's an oven, but I can't cook anything. Oh, pro tip, by the way. These planters and the storage box here, it says in their text that they feature storage. That is a blatant fucking lie. They don't. You can't store anything in them. It is lying to you. Same goes for the armoire here. You're supposed to be able to store equipment in it, but if there's a way of doing it, I can't fucking figure it. So, I looked it up. According to Google, it's just flavor text. So, there you go. I just saved you a substantial sum of money on point. It's for looks. That's all it's for. It's a form of fashion. So, that's essentially what all these houses do. The only advantage to owning a house is this thing here, the Chocobo stable. You can use it to train your Chocobo, and the only reason I went to quite ridiculous lengths to get an apartment is because I wanted to change my Chocobo's colours. If we warp to somewhere a little more appropriate... let's get a cloud top. I've not been there for a while. See, I'm in the Heavenswood expansion, the first of the... There's 3 expansion packs presently. Because you've got a Realm Reborn, which sees you through from levels 1 to 50. Heavenswood, where I am now, is 50 to 60. 60 to 70 is Stormblood, the Samurai expansion. And then Shadowbringers, the new one, is 70 to 80. So if you see any level 80 players around, they've essentially finished what the game is at present. There should be 2 more to take you from 80 to 90, and then 90 to finally the maximum cap of 100. So that's usually where all these things end. We're currently in the Sea of Clouds in the Ishgardian Empire. You may notice we're in the middle of the sky. These islands float. It's also worth noting, by the way, my Chocobo can fly. Or at least one of them can. My black Chocobo can fly. My company Chocobo, my regular riding Chocobo, at present can't. I have to finish a side quest to unlock that feature, and unfortunately, until I've progressed a little further through the story, that side quest won't spawn, which is bloody irritating. But, yeah. There's plenty to do. I mean, you just take in the sights, or I can farm these creatures here for drops and sell them on the market boards to other players who might need them more, or I could just do this. Just ride my Chocobo around. You'll notice that she's blue. Most of them start yellow like this guy's. Mine's blue. What the hell? You're brave. Sorry, enemies aggroed me. Be right back. Cheeky fucking bird. And that's why you don't piss off a Dragoon. That wasn't even played optimally. I didn't use any of my buffs. I didn't use Blood of the Dragon. I could have fucking massacred that thing. In the lower levels, enemies won't even aggro against me anymore. They're just like, dude, that level's like... Guy's like 50 levels higher than us. Fuck that noise. Basically, the game works as traditional MMO logic does. There are 3 main roles you can take. I'm a Dragoon, which means I class as something called DPS, or damage per second. We're the main damage dealers of the group. Our job is very simple, especially if you're a Dragoon. I have my big pokey stick. I poke things with my pokey stick until they die. That's about it. If my numbers ever look low, I go and find a better pokey stick. That's about as advanced as it nearly needs to get for me. I have a couple of like buffs I can apply to the party, like Battle Litany here on L2 and down, but nothing, mate. You don't have to worry too much about tactics if you're a DPS guy. You just keep stabbing things until they die. There are 2 other types of role. Like, there are plenty of other jobs, but there's 2 main roles outside of DPS. And those are your tanks, which I don't have one at the moment. I need to set up my Dark Knight, that's why. Okay, I have no armour. Let's resolve that real quick. There we go. Create new gears. There we go. I've got 18 jobs registered, although a couple of these could be disabled, actually, thinking on it. Delete that. That'll do. So I've got my Dragoon up here. That's my main. I could be a samurai, a red mage, an archer, a rogue, which is really low level at the minute. A botanist, they go around collecting herbs and cutting down trees for crafting purposes and stuff like that. I can be a blacksmith, an armourer, goldsmith, a miner, a weaver, a blue mage if I lose all self-respect and want to hurt myself. Don't play blue mage. Nobody plays blue mage. For whatever reason, blue mage is considered a limited job at the minute. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. All I know is that it doesn't bloody work properly. Hopefully the next expansion will do it some justice. But right now, blue mage is basically a joke. Now I'm going to teleport somewhere a little safer for demonstration purposes. Dry bone, that'll do. Yeah, if I try to run around as a level 30 here, I'm going to get massacred. Basically, this game is like any other MMO, like World of Warcraft. You've got the holy trinity of the tank, such as my newly created Dark Mage class here, which I have no idea how to play. Their job is very simple. They just draw all the aggression, the aggro. It is their job to get smacked in the face so that no one else is getting smacked in the face, basically. That's as complicated as that needs to be. I need to move that bloody diamond thing off the screen. That's irritating. So, like with the Dark Knight, we use all kind of like dark magic and blood magic and stuff like that, and reinforce our defenses and... It's like Dark Knights, we excel at like regenerating our own health, essentially. But honestly, I have no idea how to play Dark Knight yet. I've literally only just joined the class. You're better off asking someone else about tanks, to be honest with you. I also have a healer, the Astrologian here, and I implore you, don't make any Yu-Gi-Oh! Jokes. I've heard them all. Basically, I fight with this Astro Globe thing and a deck of cards, so basically anytime you go into a dungeon as an Astrologian, everybody in chat will tell you it's time to duel. Every bloody time. It's like, you people have got no imagination. Say something else. I've got a couple of damaging spells like Malefic here, but essentially the job as the healer is to stay in the back row. It's kind of hard to demonstrate because, of course, healers work better when you're part of a group, but I don't want to be disrupting people with my commentary, so I'm not part of a group right now. So it's my job essentially to heal, keep everyone else alive, revive them if I screw up, and so on and so forth. But like, those are your three main roles, and then you've got your crafters and stuff on top of that, your fishermen and shit like that. So there's a lot of variety in how you can play. You can find some way of doing almost anything in the game if you want. I mean, if you want, you can. Like, there's the newer jobs. Like the dancer, I can't unlock that yet. I have to be level 60 first. But if you want to be a dancer, go be a dancer. If you just want to spend your whole time looking for fish, go ahead, go nuts. So, essentially, you can do almost anything you want in this game. And that was a bit unnecessary, but whatever. I just want to kill something. So this is the Uldar region. I'm not really supposed to be here story-wise at the moment. I'm technically a wanted criminal. But I won't tell you why. That's big old spoilers. But I mean, you can go anywhere. You can do anything you want. You can You can ride your chocobo around for days on end if you want. I mean, I even have a racing chocobo in this game. He's called Senor Duvet. He's made of feathers. What the fuck else was I going to call him? Yeah, you can go to an amusement park. I said you can craft furniture if you really wanted to. I mean, you're never going to run out of shit to do. Ever. And bear in mind, like I said, I'm only showing you like the really sort of low-level content here. Like, if you want to see how fucking crazy this game gets, go onto YouTube. Well, since you're listening to me, presumably you're either on Facebook or YouTube at the moment. See if you can find the Nier Automata crossover event bosses, and just watch how utterly ludicrous this game gets when it's running on full power. Just the amount of shit flying around, the amount of particle effects and stuff you've got to keep track of, it gets ludicrous. So, I mean, if you're interested, I mean, it's essentially create your own little second life, and I gotta be honest with you, I mean, my life's pretty boring under normal circumstances anyway. I'm a very boring person, I'm sure you figured that out by now. But with the quarantine on and everything, I need this. It's like, even if I was allowed outside, there's nothing to do out there. What am I going to do? Go to CEX and buy another game? I can't. It's fucking closed. So, it's a good way of going on little adventures. I mean, you can even play in first-person mode if you really want to. There's zero advantage to doing that. If anything, it's a disadvantage. That's not my Erin, by the way. I don't know who that is, but it's nobody I know. I do know somebody called Erin, but I'm fairly sure that's not her. But there's all kinds of quests and massive dungeons that you can dive into. There's fights against massive sea serpents. You can find groups of friendly monsters and help them. That's my plan for the evening, is to go and do my daily checks with the bird people. I'm helping them build an airship, and I can't for the life of me remember why I started, but I'm in deep now, so I may as well carry on. So, I mean, you can join. If you're worried about if like me, you're a little bit on the antisocial side, don't worry. There's this thing, the Duty Finder. So, say if I wanted to go and join a dungeon right now, if I don't have any friends, which is alarmingly close to the truth. Say if I wanted to run Snowcloak, all I got to do is select it and then hit triangle to start, and it will just pair me up with other random people that happen to be doing Snowcloak at the time. I don't necessarily have to talk to them, although it does help. Please note, this game does not include voice chat, which, thinking on it, means that even if I was in a dungeon I couldn't be disrupting people, but oh well, too late now. I'm not recording it again from scratch, sod off. Ideally, you can get these little, if you're on PlayStation 4, you can get these chat pad things that clip into the bottom of your control pad. They help a lot. I got mine on Amazon for about 15 quid. Highly recommended. If you're on PC, then obviously you've got keyboard and mouse, so it's probably better on PC, but I don't know anything about PC gaming. You're better off asking someone else. So, that, in a nutshell, is Final Fantasy XIV, or at least some small aspects of it. I mean, if you bear with me a sec. I've been playing for 6 days, 1 hour and 18 minutes. Nearly, getting on for an actual week of my life. A full 24 hours. 6 times. So, and I've barely scratched the surface. I've only just arrived at the first expansion pack. I have got so... Bear in mind that I was speeding through the base game by the end of it. I just wanted to progress into new areas and see new sites. There's so much shit I've got left to do. I've got to level every class up to 80. I've got to fight every dungeon, find every rare mount, etc. Like obviously I ride my chocobo, but I don't have to. Mount guide, that's it. I could ride a black chocobo. I've got the Magitech armor, you get that for clearing the base game. Or I could ride a behemoth. I just love how casually I sit in my throne as I'm riding the behemoth as well. That's just ludicrous to me. But like, there are rare mounts like these unicorns you can get that are on fire, and like in the later expansions there's joined a fate. What the hell? Okay, why not? I have to level sync for this because I'm way too strong for this area. I shouldn't be anywhere near here by rights. Well, I'm going to go do this fate real quick. Just for a little bit of fun. I appear to be on my own. Again, none of these enemies are even the slightest threat to me. Because it's worth bearing in mind that while I'm level synced, as you see I've dropped down to level 23, my gear hasn't. So I'm a level 23 holding like level 50 something spear, which means I'm just disgustingly powerful. The reason I'm doing this is this is how you get your company seals, which is what I need to buy that chocobo chick wearing a helmet. Just for a laugh. It's not like this will take me long. The only problem is that because I'm level synced, it means that I can't use any of my higher level abilities because the game's considering me level 23 right now. I can't use like Dragon Fire Dive, which you wouldn't have until level 50. That's fair. I mean, with Dragon Fire Dive, I would make an absolute joke out of that whole thing. There you go. 3,000 experience, 36 gil, which is an absolute pittance, but 103 seals. And it said achievement. Oh, challenge entry log in your fate 1 complete. 1,000 gil and 280,000 experience. So that was well worth doing after all. There you go. Nice little bonus I wasn't expecting. But yeah, you got your crafting, your gathering, your fishing. If you really want to, you can just be a musician. Like, I've seen people who just gather in the main cities and just play songs and dance. Don't go on quests or anything, just stand there dancing just for the amusement of other players. Just for a laugh. So, be whoever you want to be. That's the whole point of an MMO. So, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are all kinds of resources for learning how to play this game, and I'm gonna lie, it can get complicated at the later levels, but don't let that deter you, because if you want a decent story and if you want a nice detailed world, you can do a lot worse. So you can pick up the the complete edition of this game on PS4. It's nearly always on sale, and if it's not on sale, you can go to like Shop2 or something, and it's like 25 quid. There is a monthly subscription. It's about £9, but that allows you to have 8 characters. There is a basic one, but I don't recommend using it because it has a few features locked off. When it only saves you like £1 a month. It's really not going to make much difference. Just go for the standard. So yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if there's anything else you want me to show, if there's something you want me to go more in depth on, or another job you want me to show you or something, I'll do my best, assuming I've got it available, of course. But for now, that's it from the land of Eorzea and the burgeoning career of Evil Pikachu. So, bye-bye, basically. I will see you around the plains of Uldar, maybe. Maybe we'll catch up in the middle of Ishgard's market. I don't know. You just don't know. You never know what kind of crazy adventures you're going to get into when you sign into games like this. So give it a try. I mean, the free trial is obviously free to download. It's actually free to play up until level 35, and if you can't decide if you like the game before level 35, you're doing something wrong, so that should take you a good couple of days. So, and that's getting one class to level 35. You could just level all of them up to level 34 if you wanted to, and just massively extend your playtime on the free trial. There's a little game for you. So there you go. Go and have fun. I'm going to do the same. I've got some missions to take care of in Limsa Lominsa, which I wasn't going to do on camera because that's a big old spoiler alert. So I'll go take my flying kitten here and go see what kind of craziness we can cause today. See you later.